What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy Motor City Don P, and we're back here once again. You already know what time it is when you see me in front of TV. It's that one thing's for certain and three things are for sure. Number one, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. Number two, we came to give you stats and not none of that static. And number three, perhaps the most important number of them all, number three. We want to make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we got some things that we got to get into today, but you may be asking yourself, or me, not yourself, how, Don, how, Mr. P, does one keep their Lions news pragmatic? Well, it's very easy. I'm glad you asked. It's very simple. I'll tell you. I'll let you know right now. Smash the like button, subscribe, and share. That's pretty much how you do it. And no matter in which order you've done that in, then you've kept your Lions news pragmatic. You have done it. And since sharing's caring, once you share this with your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your mothers, your brothers, your sisters, your fathers, your sisters, you name it. You name it. You have indeed cared about those people. What up, though, everybody in the chat? Donkey Kong is back. Okay, watch yourself. Well, watch yourself. Shut your ass. Don't know what you're working with. Pause. I ain't talking to you, Donkey Kong. Quit your crying, heifer. I don't need all of that. Got a job for you. Braided up. The pimp's back. Say, ooh. Yeah, what you doing? Say, ooh, nothing. Okay, anyway. Hashtag, if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. What up, though? Tactical Sport. What up, though, Zach J? We got. So originally we was gonna come in here and we're gonna take a little bit of a victory lap. Okay, and we still gonna take that victory lap, but we got to hit the breaking news. It ain't really breaking news anymore, but Aiden Hutchinson and the Detroit Lions have agreed to an in-season extension. I believe the precedent was set by Aleem McNeil. I believe Aleem McNeil, correct me if I'm wrong, because I can be wrong. I believe Aleem McNeil agreed to an in-season contract extension. Now the Detroit Lions and Aiden Hutchinson have agreed upon. They have reached an agreement on a 4-year extension, which means obviously it's not kicking in this year, but it will kick in. Is this Aiden's 5th year? No. This is not his 5th year. I think this is his 4th year. Yeah, so if this is his 4th year, then they already picked up his 5th year option. You already know that. So after next year, in the 2027 season, this would be when his 4-year, $180 million extension will kick in. $50 million? Well, not exactly. $45 million AAV if you just do the math that way. And we know that's not how it works with NFL contracts at all. AAV is not a real thing when you're talking about a contract of an NFL player. The good thing for Aiden Hutchinson is that only $39 million of this amount is not guaranteed. $141 million guaranteed out of a $180 million contract extension. Now, you know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, we checking on your dough, boy, and we checking in on Aiden Hutchinson's dough. Shout out to Marcellus Wiley, because that's where I got it from. I didn't come up with that. He did. So I take it because sometimes I listen to his show. It's informative. It's interesting. You get the goss. If you like Joy Taylor, you're gonna get you some Joy Taylor goss, and so on and so forth. But anyway, I digress. Aiden Hutchinson is currently the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. But guess what? Or is he? Did Micah Parsons get 48 million, or I feel like Micah Parsons got 48 million? Anyway, the funny thing about this is He's making $45 million per year AAV, right? If you just average it out that way. And that's going to happen in 2027. By 2027, somebody's going to be getting paid $50 million, $55 million. Okay. Somewhere along there. So once we start paying Hutch his money from his new money, Hutch will be probably maybe the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th highest paid defensive end. It's crazy. It's crazy how this NFL works. It's crazy how this money goes. But you know, the money goes and the money flows, the money long and the money low, the money high and the money low, the money go. That's how the money go. You already know how the money go. Anyway. All right, man. I'm bugging. All right. Let's get to some of your comments. Again, because YouTube did the thing, I don't know who these people are. So Earl Kenner 8164 says Hutch got that bag. He did. He got that bag. What up, though, Will Murray? Motor City Kitty says hi. Meow. Motor City Kitty says hi. So we say meow. All right. Brandy Coffee says hey. What up, though, Brandy Coffee? Okay, good. That's good for your Bears. And your Bears also lost to a Ravens team that no one else was losing to. Oh, my lands. All righty. So we've got the Hutch news out of the way. Now today I had planned to play the sound for y'all. I had to deal with some foolishness this morning that messed up my schedule, which is why I started the show late today. I had to deal with some foolishness that I wasn't planning on dealing with. But you know, we take it in stride. We men, right? We take it in stride and we deal with the foolishness that we had to deal with. This foolishness actually led to, I'm going to tell y'all a story. Okay? So y'all know I drive Uber. Okay? That's what I've been relegated to over here in Australia. I used to be an English teacher, but now I'm over here driving Uber. So I'm driving and I dropped my son off at school. Okay. And I'm over by his school and I get a trip and this person happened to be going to the airport. So this person gets into my car. It's a woman. Shout out to her. She's watching. So she I'm not listening because I got my earbuds in. I'm listening to the heavyweights and everything. So I'm now driving a Tesla. So what happens when you get out of the Tesla is that if you had your earbuds in and you were listening through your earbuds, when you get out of the car to help the person put the bag in the car, okay? Once you get out of the car, you open the door. When you get back into the car, the audio switches. So the audio switched to the car. And usually I just listen on my earbuds. I don't listen through the car. People will complain, and especially the heavyweights. You know what I'm saying? So not everybody can take the language and the subject matter that be on that. So she goes to me, "Are you a Lions fan?" I look back at her and said, "How did you know that?" Because I'm thinking like she just heard like 10 seconds of the heavyweights, and maybe she knew who the heavyweights were. And so I'm like, but what I didn't realize is on the screen, it says Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a Lion for life or whatever, right? So I said, "Where are you from?" She said, "I'm from Texas." I said, "Oh, okay." So I'm thinking she's a Cowboys fan. She was like, "Where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Detroit." So you already know what it is. Oh my God. I said, "Yeah." "Are you a Cowboys fan?" You know what this woman said to me? She said, I'm a Packers fan. I pulled over. I said, oh, nope, nope, nope. I said, nah. She was like, oh, come on. Right. So, we had a bit of banter about the Packers and everything and NFC North. Right. Now, how is she a Packers fan and she grew up in Texas? Her father is from Wisconsin and her mother is from upstate New York. So her mother's a Bills fan. That's a house that I'd like to be a fly on the wall in on a Sunday. Okay. But anyway, I asked her straight out. I said, how do you feel about Jordan Love? You know what she said? I said, okay, that's it. That's the answer. Packers fan who lives in Australia, who's from Texas. I asked her how she felt about Jordan Love. She said, okay. I said, okay, that's exactly what I was looking for. I said, personally, I just don't think he's that guy. And she was like, no. You heard it here first. Packers fans around the world don't rock with Jordan Love like that. Let me see what y'all comment because I know y'all talking about this. Super Trust Fall says, what it do, baby. Dodgers about to spank Canada tonight. Canada. Who's the next priority signing? Well, it's got to be one of the second rounders, right? So it's got to be Branch or Laporta, right? Because they don't have fifth-year options. So, Branch, Laporta, Gibbs, Campbell. Didn't they all go in the same round? I mean, the same draft. So from that draft, probably Branch or Laporta. One of them. All right. Today's stream, you should just count to the number 180 million. No, that would take longer than we have for the stream. No captions available. I am deaf. I think that I can't really. You got to turn those on. You got to turn those on. Who do we have left to sign? Branch, Gibbs, Campbell, Laporta. Am I missing anyone? I was gonna say Campbell, but you got Campbell up there. Tesla. No, as far as those guys, no. Let's see. The Lions over the Vikings, of course. But he should not break the bank by any means, but he is a Shep guy. Oh, Rodriguez. Yeah, I didn't even think about that because he's a 6th-round pick. So yeah, that's probably going to be an easy contract to get done. Facts. Threw her out the car politely. I was getting ready to, bro. I pulled over. I was like, oh. Yep, number 44 is Rodrigo. We're going to talk about this. Lions fans seem to love Brock Wright anyway, and you hate him. All right. So, you know what we do on this show, boy. All right. Anyway, so we're going to get into what we were going to get into today. As I said, I did have, I wanted to play all the sound because I was called a madman. I was called a non-ball knower, but nobody ever said I wasn't a ball seer, right? So I'm coining that phrase. Not Motor City Don P is the ball seer. All y'all other people can run around calling yourself ball knowers, but I'm calling myself the ball seer. I don't know if I should have to say pause after that one. You guys let me know in the chat. Do I have to say pause after I call myself the ball seer? Because no one says pause after they say they're the ball knower. Because you know ball, I see ball, right? It's a difference, but I don't think I should have to pause myself after. All right. So there were a lot of people that didn't agree. There are people in comment sections who don't agree with this take. There are people on Twitter who don't agree with this take. There are a lot of people everywhere who don't agree because they feel like Jameson Williams should just be a decoy and he should just be happy to be a decoy. I told you guys, and I've been telling you guys, the man needs the ball. The man needs the ball, and it is up to Johnny Morton. It is up to David Shaw. It is up to Hank Fraley. It is up to all these people that have anything to do, Dan Campbell, who have anything to do with the offense, to scheme him open. Jameson Williams is not Calvin Johnson. Jameson Williams is not 6'5". He's not 240 pounds or 235. He does run a 4.2. I think Calvin ran a 4.2, 4.3, right? But what you can't do with Jameson Williams is have three guys on him, and with Matthew Stafford, he just says, I don't care, and I'm just throwing it up because Calvin Johnson's nickname is Megatron. Megatron is a transformer. He's a big-ass disguising robot. That's not Jameson Williams. He doesn't have the frame, right? He's got the speed unmatched, but he doesn't have the frame. Scotty Montgomery. Well, actually, let's go down the pecking order. Dan Campbell, when asked about people needing more opportunities and others getting the job, or and just getting more opportunities and more balls to people, pause. Dan Campbell said, "Yeah, there are some guys on the team that need more opportunities." He said, I'm not going to name any names, but there's guys on the team that need more opportunities, and we have to be better at getting them more opportunities. He was talking about J-Mo. Scotty Montgomery was asked directly about Jameson Williams. Scotty Montgomery said, as an overall thing, the scheming, all of that stuff, we need to get Jameson Williams the football. He said this directly. They asked Jared Goff about getting him the ball more. He said definitely he's a dynamic player who we would like to get more opportunities. So what I was told was this. I was told that the Detroit Lions don't care who gets the ball because they're going to run the offense the way that they're going to run their offense. They're going to do the things that they're going to do. And because we have too many mouths to feed, we have too many weapons on this team. It's going to be, the J-Mo game is going to come. Well, there's 17 of the games per season. What do we mean by the J-Mo game? The money to me doesn't signify anything against the cap. I don't care. It's not my money. My thing is this. You rewarded the player because of his value to the team, not as a blocker. You rewarded the player because of his value to the team as an all-around football player. The main thing that he does at his position is catch footballs. You have to throw him footballs to catch. I don't look at it the way that people go, I'm the official keeper of the J-Mo. You're never going to hear me say, oh, they wasted money. Oh, they shouldn't have paid him. Oh, they shouldn't have done this. If they were just going to do this. No, my point is this. You paid him, which means you value everything that he does. So let him do everything that he does. That doesn't mean I think they shouldn't have paid him. What I'm saying is By paying him, you show that you were committed to him for 5 more years. 5 more years. Just like Hutch. You just paid him. You've shown you're committed to him for 5 more years. It's a bit different because Hutch is really the only guy that we have that's a household name, that's at the top of the food chain or whatever. JMO's not at the top of the food chain. But the production that JMO can give you and to help you win and to help you, let's talk about those third downs because Dan Campbell talked about that again. And Scotty Montgomery talked about that again. And Jared Goff talked about that again. So when you've got a guy, if you're talking about being in third and manageable, right? Third and four, third and six in that area, you've got a guy that you can give the ball 2 yards off of the line of scrimmage and he can get you 30. Scotty Montgomery also talked about run after the catch opportunities. He talked about that yak. He talked about that rack. And he said they're not doing enough in that area with run after the catch. So when the Detroit Lions head coaches come out, Dan Campbell comes out and he says, we're good. When he's talking about his offensive line, he said that we're good. As far as the guys that they have in the tackle room, and they're probably not going to make any moves in that position at the deadline. When he came out and he said, we're good with the guys that we have on the line, when everyone was asking for Zadarius Smith, he came out and he told you what he thought. We like the guys that we have. We're confident in the guys that we have. He says the same thing about the tackles. We like the guys that we have. We're confident in the guys that we have. We don't really look to be making a move in that situation. So he said, we're good 2 times to you. He told you what he felt about players. And then they proceeded to go out with guys like AQM, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And he's got 5 sacks opposite Hutch. Now he's going to be opposite Hutch and Aleem, unless he's not. But we'll talk about that in a second. So Dan Campbell came out and said, we good, right? When asked about Jameson Williams getting the ball, Dan Campbell said he needs to get the ball more. There is no anger translation necessary for that one. You know, y'all know I'm the official Dan Campbell anger translator. The only thing that needs to be translated is who he was talking to. There are guys that need to get the ball more. They need to get more opportunities. I'm not going to say who they are. Jameson Williams. That's the only translation necessary because some of y'all don't get it. Okay? So when your head coach comes out and tells you, we need to get Jameson Williams the ball more. When the wide receiver coach comes out and tells you, we need to get Jameson Williams the ball more. When your quarterback comes out and tells you, we need to get Jameson Williams the ball more. I'm just the ball seer. I see ball. That's it. Y'all don't have to believe me. Y'all don't have to believe my eyes if you think they're lying. You don't have to believe none of that. But just believe what Dan Campbell tells you. Believe what Scotty Montgomery tells you. Believe what Jared Goff tells you. Because I was called a madman. I was told my eyes were lying to me. I was told that the Detroit Lions didn't give a damn and they were just going to run their offense the way that they were going to run it. Well, here's the thing that people didn't seem to see. Again, the numbers say the Detroit Lions offense is among the best, and it is among the best. But there are deficiencies. in this offense. And I've been telling y'all there are deficiencies in this offense. And I rock with y'all because y'all rock with me. And y'all have seen the deficiencies in this offense when we watch the streams together. I feel the frustration on 3rd and 10 plus. We can't convert a third down of 10 yards or more. We have not been able to do it. We've had 20 cracks at it all season and haven't been able to do it. Okay. So basically 20 cracks. We played 7 games. Let's just say round it up to 3 times a game where we are 3rd and 10 plus. We're not getting a first down. It hasn't happened a single time this year. Dan Campbell talked about 3rd and moderate, 3rd and manageable. It's 3rd and 4, 5, 6. And sometimes we just ain't converting. We're not good enough on 3rd down. Scotty Montgomery said, we're not good enough on 3rd down. Offensive coach is saying we're not good enough on 3rd down because we're not good enough on 3rd down. Here's a guy, right? Y'all thought it was 3rd and Amon, but it don't seem that way that this year. Right? In Las Vegas for the longest, it was 3rd and Renfro. In San Francisco, it's 3rd and Jawan. In Detroit, it used to be 3rd and Amon, but for whatever reason, it hasn't been that way this year. Maybe it's 3rd and JMO time. I mean, that doesn't have the ring of 3rd and Amon and 3rd and Jawan and 3rd and Renfro. But 3rd and Renfro sound like a street corner. But there are deficiencies. So again, let your eyes do the seeing. Let your eyes do the seeing. Let your ears do the listening. And let your mouth do the talking. Don't let the numbers do the talking. Let your mouth do the talking because you've seen it first. And then you've heard it. And now you're speaking it into existence. Or not into existence. You're just speaking it. Anyway, let me see what y'all got to say in the comment sections. And then we will move on to other things pertaining to our next opponent. Let's see what we got here. All right. That was the last one that we had up there. Okay. So it says, I have captions turned on, but not available. Can anyone else in the chat see captions? I don't know. That one, I don't know. Let me see. I'll go into the No, I don't see anything in the settings. Sorry, my man. Yeah, especially because he's on Motor City Cats. So I don't know. I'll try to figure it out for next time. If we had Joe Flacco, you know he would get JMO the ball. Facts. Well, if it's up to Johnny Mo to get Jameson Williams the ball, then we're screwed. Dan sat down with Johnny Mo over the weekend, over the bye week, sorry. And he may have been given the news that JMO needs the ball. I believe Jesus told me because my Bible tells me so. Okay. We need to get the ball a lot more to several players. Jameson, Laporta, Tesla. We should be putting defenses on skates. Again, that's what we were told. that is what we were told when Johnny Moe came in here and said, "Oh, I'm gonna dictate to the defense is what they're allowed to do. They're not gonna dictate to us." Okay, I'm just saying. Renfro got really sick, knocked him out the league for a bit. Why is it messed up? That's what it was called. They called it third and Renfro because every third down, you knew they were going to Hunter Renfro. UC got him bad, lost like, what is that? Ulcerative colitis. All right. So now, you know what we do on this show, boy. I mentioned AQM. AQM is dealing with a hamstring injury. Does anybody want to tell me who is starting if AQM can't go this week against the Vikings? I bet you don't have an answer. I bet you don't know what's going on. Okay. My usual singing voice ain't working because you know I got whatever's going on. Tyrus Wheat. Give me a freaking break. Tyrus Wheat. Pretty sure he got down to like 142 pounds and was running crazy fevers, etc. Is he better now? I also didn't say nothing about him. I said third and Renfro. All right. Joe Snuffy will start if AQM can't. Who's Joe Snuffy? Do anybody know who Joe Snuffy is? Who is that? Well, I'm glad he's bounced back. Brent DeWitt, what up though? It says LMAO sis on my desktop, bro. Wishes you would lower your mic a few inches to make it easier to lip read. Is Motor City Kitties okay? I'll take it down. Is Motor City Kitties sis? Is that who it is? All right, there we go. Down. Now you can read the lips. Joe Snuffy is a dude. Is he related to Snuffleupagus? What the heck are we talking about? So here's the what I'm gathering from this. We don't have anyone else to start outside of AQM. Your question about the trade deadline. Oh, are we really going to go edge rusher because we need to tackle? One thing that we have to understand, and I've said this before, and I've seen other creators saying it. So there's a lot of people that are trying to push the narrative and they don't want to listen. Nobody is trading you a left tackle who's better than Taylor Decker. So if you can't get someone who's better than Taylor Decker in a trade, what are you trading for? Are you trading simply for a backup? Maybe. Maybe you'll get the type of backup that Justin School is. Y'all remember Justin School? Justin School was the guy that Hutch got his 4.5 sacks from off of last year when we played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guess who's playing this week? Possibly it is Justin School as a backup tackle in Minnesota. So a banged up Christian Darrisaw, a fully healthy Justin School, I think Hutch eats. And Hutch is going to get to sack JJ McCarthy. So I think Hutch eats. But the point is this. if AQM can't go, and I hope he can go, but you already know about hamstring injuries. You know they can really hamstring you. But boom, okay. So you know about hamstring injuries. You know that Tyrus Wheat took 7 weeks to get any type of stats at all whatsoever. If we're making a move at the deadline, I 100% believe it's going to be a defensive end. If it's a defensive tackle, I'm going to be pissed. But if it's a defensive end, I can rock with that. Now, here's the other thing that I've been seeing around the interwebs, and I don't know why. There are people that wholeheartedly believe that Brad Holmes never makes trades at the deadline. People. Brad Holmes got here in 2020 and didn't do nothing at the deadline. Since 2020, Brad Holmes has done something every year. What are we talking about? Every year, Brad Holmes has done something, except for the first year that he was here. And the first year that he was here, you could argue that he was just evaluating the roster, so he didn't want to make any trades. Right? And they got all this draft capital. Again, until they started using these draft capital, they didn't make any trades to acquire any talent. His first trade, I'm sorry, they did acquire some people, but I think his first trade was TJ Hawkinson. He got him up out of here. They acquired Trinity Benson. They acquired Donovan Peoples-Jones. People forget about those maybe because the trades didn't pan out, but he made trades. They weren't necessarily good trades other than the TJ Hawkinson one shot out. They weren't necessarily good trades in the beginning, but he made trades. Okay? So, and last year you saw him trade for Big Z. Big Z came in here and helped his team. So when people are saying Brad Holmes is rumored to be calling around looking for players to trade, to acquire via trade, I don't know where the narrative that Brad Holmes never does anything at trade deadline comes into play. Maybe you people just don't remember that he got these people at the trade deadline. Maybe you thought Zadarius Smith started the year on the Lions roster. Maybe you believe that Zadarius Smith walked in off the street into training camp and said, I need a job. And they said, okay. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is this. Brad Holmes, except for year number 1, has made a move at the trade deadline every single year. So let's not run around with the somebody came into my comment section and was like, I need to ask people on the podcast how many trades Brad Holmes has made since he's been here. First, he called him Brett Holmes. Okay. That's not even his name. His name is either Brad or Melvin. Either one of those will suffice. And said, how many trades has Brett Holmes made? I think it's just one. I mean, I guess, like I said, they weren't all great trades. They weren't all good trades, but there were trades nonetheless. So I do believe that there is going to be a shoring up of the defensive end position. I've been telling you guys this. Awesome. AQM panned out. And when AQM panned out, here's what people were doing on Twitter. Hey, we taking victory laps, man. Hey. No, because we don't have anybody but AQM. And now that he's might not be playing, who is his replacement? Marcus Davenport. Stop it. I don't want to hear about Marcus Davenport. And Marcus Davenport is not available. My man fell down on his elbow and still has not returned to the lineup. Brother, we didn't even see the type of injury that they say that this is. We didn't even see it. We didn't even know it was coming. He fell down and rolled over on his ankle. I mean, on his elbow. What the frick? How did you tear your pec? By falling down on your ankle. I mean, on your elbow. How? I don't hope for Marcus Davenport to be able to return healthy. I hope that I'm wrong, because hoping for Marcus Davenport to return healthy and as a contributor is wishful thinking. It's hoping for a miracle. Hoping that I'm wrong puts into account that I am human and I can be wrong all the time. So it is more likely that I would be wrong than for a miracle to happen. You get me? You feel me? Is it clear? I think it is. All right. Let's get to your comments, and then I will get to some of this injury report stuff. He says, let's watch 97 highlights and eat popcorn. In other news, Davenport has no return timeline. Who could have foreseen that? Exactly. I forgot that part. Dan Campbell was at the podium basically saying exactly this. Again, you guys, my guy fell on his elbow, tore his pec, now has no timeline for a return. He's just doing this. He's doing this now. That's the status on Marcus Davenport. Stop talking to me about Marcus Davenport. I don't want to hear from a fan about Marcus Davenport. I told y'all from the very beginning of this season, from the offseason, when we re-signed that man, there were over-unders of 3 going around about how many games Marcus Davenport would last. There were over-unders of 3. Come on, people. 3? Seriously, 3. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. You know what was a joke? Re-signing Marcus Davenport. Now, again, I've told y'all, and y'all think I'm joking. I'm not joking. Hold Marcus Davenport out until the NFC Championship game, because he only can play 2 games at a time before he gets injured. Do not bring him back before the NFC Championship game. If you have to activate him before that so that he could be on the roster during the playoffs, activate him. Don't play him. Don't play him until that NFC Championship game. Don't play him. You know, if you want to dress him, right? In the divisional round, if you want to dress him so you can be more comfortable, but maybe they get a lead, or maybe our lead's not comfortable enough or whatever, and you can just throw them in there and say, hey, go wreak havoc. We need you, big dog. We know we burned your red shirt, and we just not gonna have you for the Super Bowl. But we just gonna have you sit here on the bench and not play. You can suit up. You can be activated off the PUP list, or you can be activated off of IR. Just don't suit up. Don't suit up. I mean, suit up, but don't expect to play. Just stand over there on the sideline. And people will be like, well, what's wrong with Marcus Davenport? Nothing is wrong with him. They just have come to the realization that playing him is futile. Okay? You You can prognosticate, delineate, deliberate, and obfuscate about the health of Marcus Davenport. But what do they say? What is that famous saying? To err is human, to F around and find out is divine. Y'all gotta F around to find out. I think a lot of y'all already did. Just in school is a crazy name. It is. I didn't even think about that part. Just in school. Crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. His parents were trolling. His parents were trolling. You are very welcome. No problem. I try to do what I can for all of the subs. You really pulled the hamstring joke. I did. But boom. And I got that part too. That's why I went. But boom. You pulled the hamstring joke. I got you. Are the interwebs like the Matrix, Don? Yes, they are the Matrix. Well, we all know that Melvin isn't looking for an edge rusher. How many times has he told us that he isn't? But he is, though. Ahmed Hassanin is coming back, guys. Ahmed Hassanin is coming back. That's an edge rusher that'll be extra in a rotation. So, Don, what are your thoughts on Kyler Murray and Bryce Young dressing up as Dopey and Happy from Snow White for Halloween? Hitting that wacky tobacco. You know what I'm saying? That wacky tobacco. I mean, they are diminutive. I get it. The 7 doors, they're the only 2 doors in the NFL, so I guess. You poke fun at yourself is cool. Davin Hurt, Vaki, Pascal, who are those guys? Haven't seen them. Pascal, I don't want to say too much about Pascal because I feel like Pascal is just dealing with the cancer. You know what I mean? And I can't poo-poo him. I can't do nothing because it's not in his control. It's just the other injuries that kept him out and things of that nature. I was just like, we just don't need all that. Quit you crying, huh? We don't need all that. Got a job for you. Braided up the pips back. When he asked me, still said, ooh, sup. When he asked what you doing, say, ooh, nothing. Okay, anyway. Honestly, Davenport is going to be a waste to bring back from IR. We only get so many returns. I'm saying he can help you in the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. You just got to get there. But he can't help you. He can't. No, wrong angle should be down. What? All right. Let's look a bit at the way too early, because it is way too early, injury report. Before I read the injury report, I do know something. I know somebody that didn't practice today because he knew it was coming. One, Jeffrey Namumbo, oh hell no Kuda, was not at practice today. Why are you missing practice, blood? Huh? Why are you missing practice, blood? Young fella, why are you missing practice, baby? Young buck, why are you missing practice? I just want to know. Let me know. We can find. We can light a fire between us. Come with me. I won't finish the rest of the hashtag. If you know, you know. Use the hashtag. All right. That's right. Mr. Cal, an outcast. Who won the verses, by the way? Was it Cash Money or was it No Limit? I heard Master P left. Do you think Davenport gets bullied in the locker room and that's how he keeps getting hurt? No, I don't think so. This just isn't the locker room that gives off that type of vibe. No Limit won. Wow, I am shocked. Shocked, I say shocked. I would say if you just said the original cast of characters from Cash Money, if you went Wayne, Baby, Manny Fresh, Juvie, Kurt, and BG, I think that trumps Master P, C Murder, Silk the Shocker, and I would say Mystical. But here's the thing. Master P can't rap. Neither can Baby. So you cancel those guys out. Manny Fresh is a producer. Wayne can out rap anybody on No Limit. Juvie was definitely better than Silk the Shocker. I don't know if C Murder ever rapped or if he was just always in prison. If you're talking about the original cast of characters, I don't know how No Limit loses or wins that one. If Okuda plays, that's about an extra 75 yards for the Lions. I'm telling you, lock him up on JMO because you know Jeffrey Okuda, Namumbo Ohel Nokuda, he shuts down people like that. You know, he shut down Justin Jefferson all by himself with no safety help over the top. That happened. That's what Lions fans think. Lions fans who couldn't just turn on the film and just look. I mean, it wasn't even film study. You didn't even need the all 22. Just watch the replay of the game and you could see every play over the top. There was a safety lurking. I'm just saying. Should be John Cena for Halloween. Why? Because we can't see him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Poor Marcus hits the massage chairs, didn't see it was on heavy need. Wow. Wow. Imagine getting hurt in a massage chair. That's crazy. Well, Wayne didn't show and Snoop did. That's really why they won. Mia X went crazy. Oh, okay. So okay. I thought what the verses was, it was about your catalog, not who was on stage. Okay. I got you. If I'm Brad, I have it in Marcus' contract. He must wear full pads at all times on and off the field. It might be in there, bro. Because talk about fumbling the bag. Now, it wasn't a bag, but if you gave me what Marcus Davenport was getting, $4.75 million in incentives, if you gave me $4.75 million, you know what I would do with $4.75 million? I would be living somewhere on a private island, $1 million invested. Listen, this is financial advice from me. I don't know where Bitcoin is right now. Last time I checked, not yet. Buy the dip. Okay. When that bear market starts, buy the dip. Put $1 million into Bitcoin and just wait for 2 years. To the moon. You will have $10 million in 2 years. I'm trying to tell you. I wish that I was one of those people that saw Bitcoin in the beginning and said, I'll throw about $300 in there. I would have had 100 Bitcoins, my friend. Not 100. Sorry. How much was it? It was 30. So I would have had 10 Bitcoins. 10 Bitcoins. Mm-hmm. Speaking of rappers, John Cena's the GOAT. Davenport threw his shoulder out trying to swat a fly at his house. I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't buy Australia. No. Australia's be pretty expensive to buy. There are like there's like some websites where you can go and look at private islands that are currently on sale. And you can get one for $1 million. You can get one for like, I think the lowest I saw was about 250 to 500,000, but they ain't got it. It doesn't have anything on it. So basically, you buy it and you'd be putting stuff on it like a house. You get the one for like $1 million plus. Those have amenities and things like that on there already. So you might have to do a little bit of fixing. You know what I mean? But yeah. Can we get Davenport on the show once so we can just roast him for a full hour? That would be great. You know? I watched the Pivot podcast yesterday, Kevin Durant's episode. And I reached out to Kevin Durant on Twitter. He didn't reply. I guess I would have to flame him or roast him or say something stupid to get his attention. But I would like to get Kevin Durant on the show because he interacts with people on Twitter all the time, right? I'd like to get him on the show once the Lions beat the Commanders and tell him to explain himself. That's what I would like to see happen. Marcus, the mic on, gets hurt. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let me get to this injury report. The initial Week 9 Vikings injury report looks pretty darn clean. This came out, I think, is this MinnesotaVikings.com? MinnesotaSportsFan.com. This came out 2 hours ago. All right, so on the injury report, CJ Ham, hand injury, did not practice. Jeffrey Namumbo, oh hell no Kuda, concussion. Imagine a guy like him that throws himself into his own teammates and knocks them out with concussions, has a concussion. Oh, the very, very convenient concussion reply, because he may not play. He may not be available against the Detroit Lions. Oh, why? You want to come play against your old team, Jeffrey Namumbo? That's why you came to the NFC North, if I'm not mistaken. I was told. Was I lied to? I was told that Jeffrey Namumbo, oh hell no Kuda, wanted all the smoke. That's what I was told. Was I lied to? Was I indeed, and in fact, told a fib? I do not know. But it looks like if he don't play, he ducking the smoke. All right. Josh Oliver, tight end, foot did not practice. Jonathan Grenard, offensive line, outside linebacker, ankle, limited practice. Brian O'Neill, right tackle, knee, limited. Isaiah Rodgers, cornerback, shoulder, limited. Christian Darrisaw, knee, full. So we're probably not going to see Justice School. JJ McCarthy, JJ McCarthy, ankle, full. Andrew Van Ginkel, neck, full. Now, here's a question that I have for you guys. I was on Twitter yesterday, and somebody was talking about they lost respect for Kevin O'Connell because he made Carson Wentz a sacrificial lamb for no reason, blah, 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 blah. Did something else come out, or were they just talking about the fact that he got injured and he's out for the season? Because he wasn't a sacrificial lamb. He was playing the game to try to get wins. So when his quarterback comes back, they would be in a position to win the North and get to the playoffs. That's what she was trying to do. Okay? Or he, sorry. Did I say she? That's what he was trying to do, right? Trying to get someone to weather the storm, keep the boat afloat. So when the golden child, JJ McCarthy, got back, he go ahead and take over. So, I mean, that makes sense, right? I don't understand the sacrifice. What up, though, Robert Stevens? If you have a little brain, do you recover from concussions faster? I don't know. I really don't. In theory, I guess because the brain matter and in the area of circumference, the area of the area, all of that stuff would be less. Right. So if you said you had a very, very tiny brain, I think what would happen is over time your skull would adjust to better protect your brain. You know what I mean? So, you would, I mean, there would only be right. There would only be a few synapses firing, but I don't know. I'm not sure. All right. Wentz was getting a beat down. Yeah. But I know he's out for the season, but I don't know if that's what they were talking about or if they were talking about something else. D Dunk, is this my channel? If you are at D Dunk, that is LNU. I think so Motor City Cats, I think I would see your name. So no, LNU is not my channel. I just do shows on it all the time. It's Herman Moore's channel. I'm keeping it afloat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm talking about. No, I'm just playing. Win should have been pulled long before. Obviously, he was injured. So is that what they're talking about? They didn't pull him. They were like, oh, the whatchamacallit wasn't looking at him. The doctor wasn't looking at him. The trainers weren't looking at him. I mean, they did have Resmer. That's his name, right? Resmer. They had Resmer there. Oh, Max Resmer. He could have came in the game and played for Carson Wentz. I'm just saying. And then JJ was your whatchamacallit, emergency quarterback. All right. You know what we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. But before we flow, boy, we ask mailbag, what you want to do? What you want to do when they reading you? Mailbag, snick, mailbag. Get your mailbag questions in. Get them in. Basket it. Go ahead, get the mailbag questions in. Isn't that his name? Brosmer? Brosmer is the backup quarterback. Or he was. Well, yeah, he still is. Because he'll be the backup to JJ. Max Brosmer from Minnesota. University of Minnesota. You know Max. Or Mitch. Marvin. Yeah, I don't know. I just know his last name is Brosmer. I think. And as his first name could be Marvin, it could be Mitch, it could be Melvin. Not exactly sure. All right, mailbag, mailbag, mailbag. All right. Mailbag. Odds of getting an offensive tackle by Tuesday, 0.000. Unless you are talking about a maintenance level player, not even a replacement level player, just a player that will help you to maintain to do what you are already doing. And I just don't think it's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen. Mailbag. Why is it a bag? Well, it's because you put the mail in it and it's easier to carry around than a box. Right? And mailbox is already taken by mailboxes in front of the house. I have a mailbox, an inbox. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you have a mailbox if you have a house, and I'm sure you have an inbox because there's lots of people who are um employed somehow. So I would think that you would need to have an inbox. Yes. All right. Any more mailbag questions? Mailbag, mailbag. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they reading you? Bruh, who designed that line in the background? Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. How's the weather? Bipolar. It's I think it's the last 2 days it's been in the low 70s, and tomorrow is gonna be back down in the 50s and 60s with rain. So, it is what it is, man. I was telling somebody that today. When here you have two, maybe three hot days, and this is like generally during the summer. So obviously we're talking about December is when their summer starts. So you'll have 2 to 3 hot days, and then you'll have a day or two of rain, um, because everything gets so dry and hot here. When it actually does get hot, people try not to stay around, then fires start, and then let's say if you're in an apartment complex and the fire starts, cat can't get out, cat can't use the bathroom, all that stuff. So mailbag final score of the Minnesota game, a lot to a little bit. 35-10. 35-10. I usually don't pick blowouts in divisional games, but I'm going 35-10 in this one. Mid 70s here. Okay. Appreciate you. Hit me up, man. Hit me up. We'll see what we can do. Do you think Shohei hits a dinger tonight for LA? Sure. I've never watched Shohei play baseball. I don't watch people play baseball, but I'll go with that. Are you a subscriber to Motor City Cats? Also, let's see. 1 second. All right, no worries. That's just a delivery. I will also. I have to actually make the list. I'm sorry, the link for Discord because they don't stay forever. Create the invite link. Actually, let's just do it this way. It'll be a lot easier since I'm already in. Since I'm already in this Gmail. All right. So I open up the Gmail. and I will get the link for you. And you can just join the Discord, and then you can hit me up. Okay, there we go. All righty. So that's the link to the Discord. I just put it in there, so you can join it, and then you can send me a message. It's USA versus Canada. Mailbag, JMO TD. With all this noise coming out, there better be one. That's all I'm saying. Y'all better get that man the ball. Yeah. Decker's uncertainty, trade for a veteran LT. Goff gets injured, not winning the Super Bowl. But see, the problem is who's trading an LT? What is the level of player that you're going to get? Is it going to be better than Dan Skipper? Is it going to be better than obviously it'd be better than Giovanni Manu, who's on injured reserve. But is your left tackle that you're trading for going to be better than Dan Skipper? Because if he's any way good, if he's any way, shape, form, or fashion good, they don't trade left tackles like that unless you are the Texans. And I stress to you, the Texans seem to be a very stupid organization. They've done nothing. CJ Stroud's offensive line been trash. And then they doubled down on it by trading Laramie Tunsil away. All good. So the Motor City Cats link is, let me get that for you as well. All right, Motor City Cats right here. Get that, come back. Put that there. Boop. All right, so you can also subscribe to Motor City Cats as well. The hat code too, yeah, this is the 75th year edition, I believe. Yeah, it should be. This is the 75th anniversary, right? Yeah. 75th anniversary. Titans have JC Latham at right tackle. They could throw Panay to left tackle if they wanted, but I say let's ride Decker out. Pause. Yeah, so that would be the only option, I would say, only because the Lions or the Titans are fire selling, and they've said that everybody can get touched other than Cam and Jeffrey Simmons. So if you say everybody can get touched, JT Latham is part of everybody. So walking into a situation or falling into a situation like that, where you can go ahead and move Panay back to the left side and then trade for a right tackle who's on a team where they're fire selling, that's true as well. And also you can look at other teams that are fire selling. Maybe the Arizona Cardinals are fire selling. The New York Giants may be fire selling. Just to name a few. So that's the only possible way, I think. Yep, there you go. Great minds think alike. Don't let Christian Wilkins hear that. Anybody? You and Christian Wilkins. All right. Do y'all have any more mailbag questions? If not, we're gonna shut it down. Maybe get a quick nap right quick. I don't know. It's probably best. Not sure. Let's see what kind of money we got going on out here. Any money, any money, any money? Nope. 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 Hell no. Ain't no money going on in them situations. No money at all. Let's see. I just joined the Discord. Go Lions. F the Vikings. Facts. Appreciate you, Brandy Coffee. I have not been promoting my Discord like I should. So y'all, get in there, man. Bring it to life. Have topics, have conversations and everything. And I'll start getting notifications. Brent DeWitt says, hey, Mr. Detroit City. The only issue with moving Sewell is that you lose the dynamic of him lead blocking on a run. There are pros and cons, man. There are pros and cons. And when I said them moving Sewell, I don't think they'll do it in the season. That's why I said, I think, because this question was asked, I think, last week. I just don't think that Sewell moves to the left until Decker retires. And that's why we should want the Lions to win the Super Bowl this year so Decker can retire. Gators, you always wondered about what? 44-17? Like on Friday, I'll do like my complete breakdown prediction. We'll have all the information, who's in, who's out, and all that stuff by Friday's show. So that will be what that will be. All right. So appreciate you guys once again. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Like I said, I won't be here tomorrow, but I will be here on Friday. So just an update on the court case. I may have to go back next month. I may not have to. I spoke to a police prosecutor, and he said he will look at the footage, and he may just decide to throw it out, which was what the entire process was supposed to be anyway. The footage should tell you that you should throw it out. If they decide to double and triple down, then I will have to go back to court next month on the 26th. So that would be the 25th for you guys. So I just have to figure out when that's going to be. Oh, okay. That's what you're asking. Okay. I missed that part. How are the Crocs compared to the Gators? The Crocs are in Queensland, so I don't know. I don't go there. It may be time to just move on from Decker regardless. I don't think they're going to do that, though. That's going to be a hard one. They're going to have to push him into retirement. They're going to have to be like that. You're going to have to. You know what I mean? Because I know he doesn't want to play for anybody else but the Lions. So. I'll check. If you send it to the Discord, then it should come up. All right. Like I said, so I will be back on Friday for the show. So once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.